Cape Town is, particularly the CBD and surrounds, it's a construction site. Plenty of private development taking place, but not just Cape Town, other parts of the country as well. Gauteng in particular, we're having developments selling units for 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 million a unit. But who is exactly affording these units? The average house price in the city of Cape Town is about 1.9 million rand. Rental in the city of Cape Town for a modest working to middle class family could probably start at about 7,000 rand. The upper end, I'm talking about really, really high level here, 75,000 rand along the Atlantic seaboard. Ash Müller is a property broker. She's also a Mail and Guardian property columnist. Good morning, Ash. Really appreciate your time. Ash needs to take herself off mute so we can have this conversation. Good morning.
Thanks so much for having me.
I could sense you were steaming right into it because you've been writing a lot about plenty of development happening around the country, but also questioning with 2, 3 bedroom apartments ranging between 3 or 5 million rand. Who exactly are the South Africans who are affording these properties?
So it's important to remember that we have 7 million title deeds in the South African residential market. And of those, 75% are below 1.2 million. So we can't call it the affordable housing market when it's the actual market. So we mustn't confuse these high-end real estate with the average real buyers in the South African property market. And I find it quite a difficult task, when we focus on Atlantic Seaboard and Sandton and these very high price tag items where there'll be 100 million rand penthouse or, houses into the millions in Clifton. And we have this serious affordable housing problem, but we've got so much attention on such a tiny portion of a much larger issue.
But you do write, for example, of the growth in the property sector, not just in the Western Cape, but also in Gauteng. It's also seeing a reversal within the property market. We often speak about semigration as a result of a declining Johannesburg, but property companies are seeing an opportunity in Johannesburg at the moment. We're seeing an increase in private property development there.
Yes, and I actually just wrote an article in my column, my Mail and Guardian column, called, basically there's more to Joburg and Gauteng than Sandton. Everybody wants to develop there, but there are so many nodes, in the East Rand and, other areas where there needs to be, more of a commercial industrial influx development to serve the residential demand. There's so many families that are, parking in these areas and building and, there's a need for the schools. And it would be great to see even more developers come to the party because I definitely think the demand's there, especially when it comes to rentals, but also when it comes to buyers.
I'm friends with someone who works in the planning department here in the Western Cape, and yes, the migration of people to the Western Cape, the mushrooming of informal settlements is a very, very real issue. But someone that I know within the spatial planning sector in the Western Cape says the actual demand is from a middle income, working to middle income market. It's people who are looking for starter homes. It's young professionals who are looking to plant down roots. What are you seeing in terms of the demand for, again, not those high income apartments and properties, but as you say, that part of the market that's looking at a 1.2 to 1.5 home?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I say Atlantic Seaboard, Sandton, they get all the attention of a much larger issue. I mean, when you look at Uber home loan stats, many of the buyers are exactly what you said. They are young, they are in their 30s, and a lot of female buyers too. And we need to serve these first generation property owners who strongly emphasize property ownership. So that there's this entire wave of property owners. They're eager to learn about the property space. They've got money to invest. And we all know what will happen if we don't create an appropriate environment for these, guys to buy property and serve them.
Bulk infrastructure. You also have written about a new residential block not going up not far from where we are here in Greenpoint, the area where the well-known spa and liquor store is here in Main Road, Greenpoint. They've been given notice. It's being done away with for, I think, more than 200, a block of more than 200 apartments. All good and well. We're servicing that market, but you also have raised concerns about, are we also doing the spatial bulk planning to accommodate a block with 200 units on an already busy, congested Somerset Road in Greenpoint?
So, one of the topics that I talk quite a bit about all over the place, especially on my X page at Ask Ash Broker, is traffic in Cape Town. It has been a looming issue for a number of years, decades. And, we've got crazy, gorgeous development going on all over. We've got the V&A land reclamation project, which they're going to take back 500,000 square meters from the sea. And they're going to extend the V&A waterfront to build residential, hotel, retail. That's going to bring traffic implications. We've got current traffic issues, and we've got a number of other developments going on right now and in the pipeline. So, yeah, I don't really know I haven't read much on the problem solving so far as that goes. I don't really even know how to solve it myself. I'm not into infrastructure in that sense. I have also looked at the freeway. There's the famous freeway that's not finished, and people have spoken about a tender that was accepted and it never went, nothing ever happened. But I don't even know if finishing that freeway in the foreshore would solve the current traffic issues. So it's a huge issue.
Solly's Folly is what we call that unfinished freeway. But Ash Müller, really appreciate your time. Mail and Guardian columnist when it comes to property.